yesterday at night, so I needed to show up in the morning as much as so that we can carry on from where we stopped. Yeah, so we just somebody to remind me because I may have just a minute. Somebody to remind me or to remind us the last discussion we had on poetry, because I think we were on style and stylistic language use, style and stylistic devices, use of style and stylistic devices. I hope you wrote your notes because I think I had asked us to be writing down. Kindly check for me what we wrote down, how much we explained, because I think I explained kiasi. I'm not sure how much I explained, because for today I wanted us to look at that poem, the same one we were looking last time, The Death of My Father. I thought instead of introducing a new poem, we can still work with what we had. But I want us to focus on the styles. But I think we did something. I did some background on styles. So if somebody can remind me exactly what it is we covered, so that I don't repeat myself. I can't remember what we did, how much we covered. Is there anybody who is able to do that? Uh-huh. You can hear me?
Madam, last we talked about the sound patterns. We discussed about the sound patterns, the imagery, there was a vivid description. We also talked about the mood and the attitude and irony. I think we left symbolism, contrast, foreshadow and hydrophones, personification, rhetorical question, and repetition. Those ones.
Oh, all right. So we talked about, yes, I remember us talking about irony. Irony we explained about the 3 types of ironies. Yeah.
Yes, we talked about irony.
All right, very good. So we left, thank you for reminding me, hata sikuwa nakumbuka we covered irony. I think that is good enough. Now, for today, I want to take a few minutes, just a few minutes, to talk about contrast and symbolism. Those two, contrast and symbolism. And then, after I talk about those two, I'd want us to look at that poem and try and identify as a few more styles that we can see. There's a question that is somewhere, and I'm preparing you for what we are covering today. Let me share the other slide. Yeah, there's a question number C and D. Comment on the alliteration that is used in the poem. And apart from alliteration, identify and explain any other 2 aspects of style. Okay, so those are the 2 questions we'll be looking at after this, where we want to look at not just alliteration, but do we have any other sound patterns in that poem? Number 2, we want to identify other styles that are found there. And so now that we looked at a few of them, And others, we don't really have to go through them, like explaining. I don't think I need to explain about repetition. I don't need to explain about the rhetorical questions and so on. And others, there are things we can just identify. But I would want us to just look at symbolism and contrast, because I know those are once in a while zinaweza sumbua, so that we are on the same page, on the same. All right, so let's do something kidogo on symbolism, and then we are good to go. So one, let me start with contrast. Contrast is what we use to, when we are comparing two things. Please note down that contrast is brought out when we are comparing two things. I don't have solid notes. I thought I would get you some solid notes over the time, but I think I was overtaken by events over this weekend, and therefore I know I will still need to do that for you. So don't you worry. I'll send you some proper notes, but in the meantime, let's work with the ones that I'm giving you. So contrast, contrast is let me call it a style, a situation or a style that is used when you're comparing two or more items. I want to draw a difference with comparing. What is to compare? When you ask to compare and when you ask to contrast, what is the difference between the two? Now, comparing is when you're looking at the similarities of something or some things, similarities. You're looking at two things that look alike. What are the similar things between these two things? For example, if I ask you to compare these two girls, so you're looking at what is common between the two of them. They're both girls, of course. They are both tall. They are both dark-skinned, or they're light-skinned. They are both brilliant. They are both, intelligent. They are both indisciplined, all that. So when you are comparing, you are looking at the similarities. When you are contrasting, you are looking at the differences between the two. Okay? And that is an important aspect to understand, that contrast is the differences. Compare is when you're comparing, you're looking at the similarities. And this aspect is applicable even in other subjects, and especially in geography. I think it's also in history. I'm not very sure, but I know in geography there's a bit of comparing. So I'm not very sure whether the other subjects, they look at it that way. But for us, you really be asked to compare. But contrast as a style, you're looking at the differences. So therefore, in that case, we are saying you're looking at one item and then side by side with another one to see the differences between them. And so I want to dictate that for you a bit. Yeah, so contrast is when you're looking at two opposing elements or two opposing ideas, two opposing situations. So you're contrasting this and contrasting the other one. While we are at that, the word contrast or the style of contrast can also be used with the word juxtaposition. 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 Let me write that on the chart. So I can also spell it, but let me just write it. Juxtapose. Nimeandika hapo. Juxtaposition. What is to juxtapose? Juxtapose. To juxtapose or juxtaposition is placing two contrasting images directly together. It's placing two contrasting images directly together. if you look at those two, I hope you've written, when you're placing two items that are contrasting, and we've talked about what is contrasting. Contrasting are things that don't even look alike. They are two different things, like white and black. So when you juxtapose, when you contrast, you're doing the same thing. So those two words in poetry, they go together. So therefore, we are saying that it's a style that is used not just in poetry, but also in the set books. So when you're looking at the excerpts and you're asked a stylistic device that have been used, if you come across a situation where there's contrast, then it is okay for you to use it. But do not use the word juxtapose in excerpts, in narratives. You use juxtapose only in poetry. I hope you are clear on that. Juxtapose, we only use it in poetry and not in narratives and set books. And then that is the prose form of literature. These are the paragraphs. You don't use the word juxtapose. Now, let me first of all use an example of who? Of in the set books, maybe something that would help us to do what? To show contrast. Hatujasoma Parliament of Owls. Tumesoma Parliament. Kuna mtu amesoma Parliament of Owls, because that is the one that brings out the contrast very well. Kuna mtu amesoma Parliament?
Yes, but not sijamaliza yote.
Okay. James, Charity? Ama bado?
For me, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Let me not use that one. I'm trying to look for a clear example of contrast. In the set books, because I think the set books comes out clearly. Okay. I hope sijui kama tumesoma Samaritan. Anyway, wacha nichane na set books, because probably the set books, if somebody has not covered the set books, zitakusumbua. And we agreed that we need to look at the set books. We said by April, we must have finished the set books, because by April is when we begin with the set books. We'll talk about that. Now, in this poem that we are looking at, there is quite a bit of contrast, but we'll look at it, no problem. We'll look at it. Let's go to, what was the other thing? After contrast. Kwa tumesema nini ingine tunaangalia?
Ulikuwa unataka kupeana example ya juxtaposition.
Yes, juxtapose. I want to look at juxtapose later as we look at this example. Example has good names for juxtaposition and contrast. The styles. Nini nyingine tulikuwa tunaangalia before contrast? Symbolism. Yes, symbolism. Let's look at symbolism. What is symbolism? Okay, symbolism, or what is a symbol? When using symbols in poetry, what is it? Because it is also a major style that we use in poetry. We say that is, please note down that symbolism, it is the use of concrete objects, or images, use of concrete objects or images or actions to represent abstract ideas, or concepts. Use of concrete objects, images, or actions to represent abstract ideas or concepts. Now, I hope that we have gotten that. So when we are talking about symbols, let me explain something kidogo there so that we can go back to contrast. Sometimes symbols can be a bit confusing because we are not very clear what a symbol is. Is this a symbol? Is this not? And it is it's a very general style that we can use, that is used in the sense that it you can actually pick symbols almost everywhere if you want to. You can pick symbols everywhere. For example, you are talking about love, and of course, this has been a season of love, of Valentine. And so, when we walk around wearing red on Saturday, when we walked around wearing red, it's because red as a dress and worn on 14th of February is symbolic. You didn't just wake up and found yourself wearing red on 14th of February on a Saturday. No, you wore it because you wanted it to represent something. It was symbolizing something. It was a concrete thing. Concrete means it's something tangible. It's something we can see. When you see a concrete object or image, we are talking about something tangible, something we can see, something we can identify, And so this tangible thing, this physical thing sometimes that we can see, what does it represent? It represents an idea. It represents a concept. It represents something, an emotion. And so we are wearing red, which is a dress or a shirt or whatever it is. And why are we wearing it? It's a symbol of love. It's to symbolize, it's a day to celebrate love. Flowers, pink roses, white roses, red roses, those flowers will mean different things. I hear a black rose means bad news or like separation or breakup of something. If someone is posting a black rose, it is not as the same as posting a pink rose or a white rose or something, because a black rose or that dark colored rose symbolizes something. I hope you're getting the point, that we have this physical thing which when we see it, when we hear it, when we see it, we know it is talking about something else. It is not just talking about what we can see. And the style of symbolism sometimes can be so confusing because sometimes you're not able to tell what is exactly a symbol. In this poem, do we see any symbol? And sometimes I tell students it's one of the easiest styles because symbols can be personal. As in, me, I can look at something and for me, it's symbolizing something else. And as long as I explain clearly that this item symbolizes the other one, then an idea, then it will go for it. As long as whatever it's like literature, where when you're asked to discuss something, the character trait of something or a certain theme, as long as you explain it clearly in a language that the examiner will understand, or you're able to bring it out clearly, then it will be considered as a correct one. And so the use of symbols, we are saying it is an item, it is something tangible, something we can see, something we can touch, something we can relate with, and we know it is not there for the sake of it. It is representing, it is symbolizing, inaonyesha something else. And so we can call those symbols. I hope that is clear. And I also hope that the contrast, we also got an idea about it. So unless there is a question, I want us to go to our poem.
I
If there is
just
a question,
want to add.
yes, yes.
Nimeanza kuelewa kuhusu hiyo symbolism.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've just said, a symbol
Yes.
like a red rose,
Yeah.
red rose hiyo Utapata kwamba hiyo ni meaning yake ni love ama romance for that matter.
Yes.
Another example yenye naweza kupeana ndio tujaribu kuona kama tunaweza kuipata ni dove.
Yeah.
Dove is a bird.
Yes.
What does it symbolize?
Yes.
It symbolizes peace.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, mi najaribu kufikiria on that perspective.
Very good, very good. I think I like that. I'm happy you're able to see that. Are the others able to see?
Jambo ingine ni
Yeah.
kama night.
Mhm.
Literal meaning ya night ni
Mhm.
darkness, ndio.
Mm.
Lakini ile symbolic meaning ni maybe sadness, fear, kitu kama hiyo. Yeah. Ama dead. Najaribu
When you
kuangalia in that perspective anyway.
when you're talking about the darkness, eh? Yes, very, very true. And actually, what I would want to us to understand is that sometimes when you come across a symbol in a poem, it may not be the obvious and the normal symbols we know. Like I like the way you're raising the issue of the dove and the peace. Sometimes and the calmness that comes with that with the dove, eh? And you see, like for example, when you see a snake in a poem, you know a snake is not a good thing. It will never be associated with a good thing. When you hear about a serpent, you know a serpent will never be compared to a dove because those are two animals that symbolize different things. And so sometimes you don't find things that are so obvious zenye tunajua tu. But I keep saying, like for example, in this poem, if you look at this this poem, and the things that the poet, the persona has communicated, actually most of them are very symbolic. Like this and this symbolizes the poverty and the pain and the anger. You know, when you hear this, you this is what you hear in this poem. It is symbolizing the other one. This is a representation of this. You get the point, eh? But anyway, I want us to look at that poem. I'm hoping that it's thank you for the feedback, James. I want us to look at this poem for a few minutes because I see we have around 30 minutes, which is good enough. I want us to look at this poem and I want to give you a few minutes to do that. And I would want you, I think I've also sent it in the WhatsApp group so you can look at it. I want us to ask ourselves really, what stylistic devices do you find there? Maybe you can look at the one in the WhatsApp group so that you look at the complete one, eh? Even page 2. Are we able to identify a few styles? And I want us to do that. I want you to take just a few minutes and look at it and see, do you see even the sound patterns? Because there is a question on alliteration. Do you see any alliteration? Do you see any consonants? Do you see assonance? Do you see rhyme? Is there rhyme? Are there other styles like the repetition? Okay. Rhetorical questions. Do you see any irony? Any? I would want you to identify as many styles as you can. Don't just one, but as many as you can. And then we can take around 5 minutes to do that. And then let's come back and try as much as we can to identify them. Please make sure that you identify at least 2 sound patterns or as many. Identify at least 2 or more. And then these are the styles, the big ones. Those ones for symbolism, contrast, irony, rhetorical questions, ISO. Please make sure that you identify any of them. Yes, I hope that instruction is clear. Eh? Are we clear? Do you know what we are doing, Catherine? Tumeelewa? And Charity and Domi?
Yes.
All right. Catherine, I want to be sure we are all on the same page. Thank you, Hope. Catherine and James, tumeelewa?
Yeah, tumeelewa. Ni ku identify your stylistic devices.
Yes. Come up with as many as possible. Let's help each other to see them. And hii poem nitawa request muiandike kwa book at some point, not right now, but I would want us to have this poem in the book because so that it acts as our reference. Yeah, so that when you're revising the styles, you have at least a poem that you can refer kwa exercise book. Hata ikipotea yenye iko kwa soft copy, at least tuko nayo kwa kitabu. So let's take around 5 minutes. We'll come back at 6:36 for us to raise those poems, and then we'll be done with the day. I mean, those character and not character, styles. Sawa. I hope you're writing them on your book. Write them on your book. It's important for them to be in your book. Because tukiandika hapa kwa chat, zita disappear immediately after that. But I would want you to have them, even for the sake of our reference in the future. When we are looking at the stylistic devices that are found in that poem, we are looking at any sound patterns that are in that poem, any alliteration, assonance, consonance, na tukasema mtu angalie kwa nini, kwa group, the other part, page 2. We're also looking at the major styles. Do you see any irony? Do you see any repetition? Do you see any contrast, symbolism, imagery, any metaphor, any simile, any vivid description? Actually, there are so many. There are so many and they are all here. Please make sure that you see them. Once you're ready, let me know. Ukiona kama umemaliza zako, uniambie.
Tami, I have 4.
You have 4? 4 are good. Au wengine tuko na ngapi? Thank you. Thank you, Domi. Mtu akifikisha at least 3, 4. Wacha tuseme 4 because there are so many. That poem has so many. Domi, try to look for another 2. There are so many styles.
Niko na kadhaa.
Thank you. Uko na?
Kadhaa.
Kadhaa ni ngapi, James?
More than one.
I know. I want to hear how
I
many
have
they
5.
are.
5.
You have you. Good.
Around 5.
Good. Good is good. 5 is good. 5 is very good. Let me hear. Wako na ngapi? Catherine, umepata ngapi? Hope Charity, umepata ngapi? Na Monica?
5.
5,
Madam,
Very good.
tulikuwa tunaangalia nini? Ndio nimejoin tena sahii from the stage, nataka kupeleka mtu.
Ni sawa. Nilikuwa nimeona umetoka kidogo. We are looking at the styles in that poem. The various
Okay.
styles that you can see in that poem. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
worry. Just look for them. You'll catch up with us as we do the presentation. But you can look at the complete poem in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. So because I want us to make sure that we cover before we go, our time is up. I want us to begin now that we are at least somewhere. As the others raise and you feel like you're hauna, please make sure that you capture it. It will help to improve. I want you to do that in your Excel book, so that we'll keep building on that. It will form basis of our revision. Yeah. Remember, we are here for the long term, and tutafanya poems mingi sana kabla exam ikuje. Tutakuwa tumefanya mingi sana, and therefore I would want us to keep piling them and keep writing them down. There are those ones that will be writing them down. Others are quick, za kuangalia tu alafu tunasonga. But kuna zile we pick one particular one and then we try to look at various aspects of poetry through it, so that even our notes and our revision will become a bit easier when it comes to exam time. And so let's look at watu wamepata nini. Mtu share, you can share one. We share one first. Then we go to another round randomly. It doesn't have to be at maybe we can begin with the sound patterns, so that we also are very keen on what are the sound patterns. Anybody who has seen any sound pattern?
There is alliteration.
Yes,
in the
where?
first stanza, second line. Sarcastic, scornful smile.
Very good. Now, the sarcastic, scornful smile. Thank you very much. I hope the others, you've seen that. Anybody else who has seen another alliteration, so that we can have as many examples? Any other alliteration? Remember, we said alliteration is the repetition of the initial consonant sound. Initial consonant sound. So we have a repetition of this S, let me call it S, but we call it this sound. Any other? Do you see any other letters that zimerudiwa at the beginning?
The hard cause sandpaper hands.
Which stanza?
The first one.
The first one, eh?
Yeah. The hard cause sandpaper hands.
So we are repeating the word sound, the H.
The H.
Now, that's okay. Thank you for raising it. But now that will be a problem, because in between hard and hands, there are a number of words in between. So kama kuna majina ziko hapo katikati mingi hivyo, unless it's just one letter, one word, eh? Kama there is more than one word, then we don't, it doesn't qualify to be alliteration, eh? Or assonance. Lazima zifuatane karibu sana. So that is not okay. That's not okay, but thank you for trying. Anybody else? Do you see any other alliteration? Lazima zikaribiane, or at least in between one word. Hebu tuangalie haraka haraka. Naona stanza one. Yes.
There is consonants.
Just a minute. Domi, let's see whether there is any other alliteration before we move to consonants. I'm looking at stanza 1, 2, 3, the third stanza, the second last line. The second last, under the bedbug bed. Umeona hiyo?
Yes.
Yeah, we can have that.
Teacher? And the bedbug bed, is it also a consonant? Bedbug,
yes.
Bed, bear and bed.
Yes. Actually, yes, there's when you say the consonants, because we are talking about the repetition of
the syllable.
Which sound are we looking at? The boo or the d? The a.
The boo and the boo.
Yes, the a. We will say the a sound. It's because now that will be assonance, because assonance is vowel. You get, eh?
Yes.
Assonance ndio ya vowels, consonants ndio ya consonant. Na tulisema unakumbuka hivyo. Consonants ni consonant. So unajua hiyo ingine ya vowels ni assonance. Because unaanzia na consonant, consonants. Consonants ni ya consonant. But sasa vowel ndio assonance. So if we are using bed, bag, bed, it is, of course, there is an element of repetition there. But now when you talk about, we talk about assonance. But now we would rather talk about alliteration because of the be, you know, the bed, the boo sound, eh? The bed,
The boo sound,
bag.
yeah.
Yes, you get, eh? It is more of alliteration than consonants because the boo is at the beginning of, it is the initial consonant sound. Remember, for alliteration, lazima ikue ya kwanza. But for consonants, si lazima ikue ya kwanza. It can be mixed up huko katikati. It doesn't have to be. So this is better on alliteration than consonants. So we can have that as the second example ya alliteration. Ndio tukue na 2 examples kadhaa. Anybody else mwenye ameona alliteration? Na ukumbuke kuangalia ile paragraph ya stanza ya mwisho. Okay. Na mimi siwezi kwenda huko sana kwa hiyo stanza juu ya interrupt on the screen. Eh? Okay, very good. Now, I hope we are clear on the alliteration. Eh? So, Domi, you're saying something before I interrupted you. Were you talking about the assonance or the consonants?
I was asking about the consonants. The bed, bag, bed. Can it still be a consonant?
With which sound?
With the be.
No.
The syllable.
With the b, it has to be alliteration. But the d for dog. You see, kuna d sound repeated. The bed, bed.
Yes.
Eh?
Yeah.
But
okay.
now we avoid if a word is repeated. For example, there is a repetition of bed and bed. Eh? We avoid picking that as consonants because it is the same word. You know, the reason we are saying the other one is alliteration is because up in between there is the word bag. Otherwise, kama ingekuwa under the bed, then hakuna jina bag. Then so bed and bed, we cannot pick bed and bed and talk about alliteration or consonants or even assonance. There is a repetition of a and a on both words because that is just repetition. So we are hesitant to talk about consonants with the d sound because the d sound is only found in the bed and the bed, not in the bag. So the bed and the bed, those are words that are repeated. They're not different words. And so we are hesitant to use that as alliteration. I mean, as consonants, as much as there is a repetition of the d sound, because those are words that are repeated. So that style would rather take it to repetition than consonants or assonance because the word is the same. But because of the alliteration has the boo, 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 yeah, bed, bag, bed. Now that is okay. But for d and d, for bed and bed, we cannot use it for what? For assonance, for consonants, because it is the same word. I am hoping I'm not confusing you. Am I?
I get it.
The others, mnaelewa?
Madam, what
Yes.
about the last sentence? I mean the last sentence, the last answer. So I could not for him. Sound not and more. Sound o. But the word not and more.
Very good. Even you can even look at 4. We can also see whether the O in 4 is okay. Let's look at it together. Actually, the whole of that line has so many O's. Wacha tuone kama. So now you're asking whether this is assonance.
Yeah, sound O in not and mon. Sound O.
Okay, let's look at it. I could. So that O does not count as a sound ya O. Umeelewa hapo? So you
Yes,
cannot
kwa
underline
not
O.
and
Yeah,
mon.
exactly.
Not and mon.
So, thank you. So the second one is I could, so tutoe could, not, okay? So it is O, no, not. Then more, this O, it is not more. It is I could not more. 4, okay? I want you to see which sound is the same. I could no more.
That's
4.
not and 4. Not and 4, teacher.
Yes, it is
Not
not and 4.
because
No, 4.
more, oh,
Yes, moan has a different sound as much as the letter is the same.
Okay,
Sijui kama
okay.
tuna
Yeah,
umeona hapo?
Yes, yes.
That the O for the not and the O for the 4 are the ones that are sounding the same. No, 4. But for the moan, it is a different sound. It is not, we don't say I could not more moan. It is moan. You get, eh? So there is,
Yes.
so therefore there is thank you. So therefore there is assonance, but the assonance is on not and 4. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. I love the fact that we are getting it. We are getting it. All right. Any other? And so we said when you are writing these answers, and this is something that when I was marking the exams, I'm still looking at your papers, by the way. Yeah, leo ndio deadline ya kumark papers kwetu na tumekimbizwa sana sana sana. Mimi hata siko karibu kumaliza. And so I have printed most of the work and given the teachers to mark. Lakini unasema wacha kwanza tumalizane na deadline ya leo. So don't worry. I will still finish up. We will finish up with the ones that you've already done. And we'll also give you what we haven't given you to do. Msijali, just be patient kidogo. Once we get our hands off a bit, we will attend to you. Now, I noted that something that the students are doing. For example, mtu anaandika what? I want to show you. Anaandika alliteration, anaandika consonants, anaandika jina consonants, alafu anaandika not. What am I writing? Anaandika not. Andika, I hate writing these things. Anaandika not and then anaandika o. Ivo. Alafu ana underline F na O. Ivo tu. Anaandika assonance, not, comma, 4. Alafu underline no, O and O. Anasema that is assonance. You will not get a mark for it. What is expected of you? You are supposed to write the entire sentence. The whole of this sentence. Sorry. May circle even the wrong place. You're supposed to write the whole of it. I could not mourn for him. Uandike hiyo sentence yote. Then you underline the O on not and the O on 4. Hizo zingine O uachane nazo. You write the whole sentence, or if not the whole sentence. For example, kama the second last sentence, under the bed bug, he shared with his mother. Even if you don't write the whole sentence, you must write under the bed bug. And you actually, there's no harm in writing the whole of it. And then you underline the B and the B or the E or whatever you're underlining. Don't write just the words where there is assonance, because how do we even know that actually those words are not zinafuatana? You must show by writing the whole sentence. I denied marks for everybody who did not write the whole sentence. And najua watakasirika sana, but how will we learn if the marking is not strict? So therefore, I expect when we are writing, write the whole sentence, not just for us, for assonance, but for everything, all the sound patterns. Write the whole sentence and then underline your sound of interest. Very good, thank you. Any other assonance? Did you see any other assonance?
Yes.
Now that, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in the second stanza, the fourth line, there is, he fashioned dining tables, chairs. Tables, chairs.
What sound are you looking at?
A for table, A for chair.
Te, che. Okay, that's okay. Dining tables, chairs. Yeah, so it is A. That's okay. And you see the wardrobe is not, there's no assonance. Eh?
And
Te,
teacher, on
yeah.
that, the word chair, the AI, that is the one that sounds A. Now, am I supposed to underline the AI or the A alone?
Yes.
The
You
A
underline,
alone.
it's okay to underline the AI because that is where the sound is.
Yeah.
There is no harm in, yes. Because we are underlining the sound, not the letter.
Okay.
So it is okay to underline both of them. So you look at the te, che, wa, wardrobes. So the R on the wardrobes is not, it should not be underlined. I hope it's clear for everybody. Yeah? Very good. Let's see. Any other sound pattern? Nataka tusonge haraka ndio tumalize. Any other sound pattern? I need to get ready for work.
Still on that stanza, the fourth, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth line.
Yeah.
And all the wooden loves of colonial life, of and colonial, the O and the O on the Q.
And all. Yeah, all.
Nasema, on that line,
yes,
there is of colonial life. Now the of and the colonial, the O on the of and the O on the co.
All right. The O and the colonial of the colonial lives. Simu yangu ina rotate. Of co the colonial. So you underline the O and the of for the co.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Because the wooden loves of. Can you see how hizo zote ziko na O, but they are not rhyming. I mean, they are not the same sound. So you can't underline them. You can't underline them. Wao wengine tunaelewa. Naona tumenyamaza.
Yeah, tunaelewa.
Ni kama mwalimu ameondoka nini? Hello?
Yake ikajitoa.
Mi naona kila kitu imetoka sasa.
Lakini hakuwa anataka, I think imetoka tu by mistake.
Network maybe.
Yes.
So James, continue with the discussion as usual.
Hey, na nyinyi vile mko sawa bwana. Sasa ndio nilikuwa natarajia muendelee.
Domi.
Yeah?
Domi aendelee.
Ati?
Domi aendelee.
James,
Yes.
unaona vile unatamka kitu hivyo ndio unai sound kama jina could. Sasa huangalii hiyo, unaangalia hiyo u.
Yeah, mimi nauliza kwa hiyo yenye umesema. If we cannot underline, huyo examiner atajua aje?
Lazima
because the last statement yenye umepeana umetupea, lakini sasa hakuna vile tutaweza kufanya nini kuunderline.
Utaunderline hiyo o hiyo hapo kwa off, utaunderline hiyo o.
Yes.
Na hapo kwa colonial utaunderline hiyo o iko kwa C.
Hiyo o moja.
O moja hiyo iko kwa C na o moja hiyo iko kwa off.
Then Maura.
Yes.
Uliandika hizo the full sentence then ukaunderline ama uliandika only a word then ukaunderline?
Nimecheka juu niliandika hizo words alafu nika underline. Hizo.
Me I think niliandika the whole sentence then nika underline. But somehow zinaingia somehow zinatatiza, like kama hiyo all na hiyo call. All una underline all all zote.
Unaona umesema all na call.
Hiyo yenye ulikuwa umesema wewe hiyo line.
Uandike hiyo sentence alafu unaona hapo kwa off. Underline o hiyo iko kwa off. Colonial
hapo kwa all. Ulikuwa umetaja which word? Is it all?
Off.
Off.
Sasa
yeah.
Hiyo off ya hiyo o ya F ndio utaunderline nayo jina colonial. Utaunderline tu nini hiyo o hiyo iko kwa C.
Yeah, nimekupata sasa. So I was confused. Umesema all ama o? Sasa nimekupata. Ndio? Yeah.
On the second last line from the second stanza.
Sasa James, wewe uko sawa sasa?
Nimepata.
Si tuendeni basi na the next nini basi. Next Sailama.
Thank you very much guys, as you carry on. Mimi my internet messed up for a minute. Hata nilifikiria ni haitarudi. And I need to get ready for work, so we can carry on. If you guys are not rushed by time, you can carry on with the conversation. Then I'll see you tomorrow in the evening. Yes, at your own time, when you're done, you're free to leave. If you have a few more minutes, mnaweza malizia the sound patterns. Then kesho tumalizie na the other styles. Uangalie kama utaona symbols na contrast and all the other styles. Look for as many as possible that you can see in that poem. Wacha tuitumie as our example. So Domi, if you guys have a minute, you can carry on with the conversation. Allow me to get ready so that nisichelewe job. Sawa?
Alafu mwalimu, before you
leave, yeah,
kuna some issues that we talked about, we raised.
Yes.
I humbly request the next lesson. You can give us the feedback.
The ones for Saturday, the ones for weekend,
Yeah,
Sunday.
There were quite some issues.
Yes.
I don't know if you jotted down as we talked.
I noted a few, but let me do this. Fine.
Yeah.
What you can, Ebu, now that you are the rep of the class,
Yes.
Ebu, just at your own time, uniandikie ka message highlight those points that needed my response.
Sawa.
Please. appreciate
And
that.
again, tunahitaji
Yeah.
pia zile papers zingine mwalimu.
Yes, I'm actually working on them. You just give me until end of day nimalizane na mambo ya marking because hata wenye nafuatilia kwa wao they are busy marking.
Yeah.
Ziko kwa machines, ziko kwa sijui ziko machine gani, siko machine gani because I want the soft copy. I am avoiding the hard copies because hizo zitawasumbua. So I'm looking for the soft copies. Ndio natuma ikiwa document. You just print it as a document badala ya kutuma na WhatsApp because ukiprint haitokeangi vizuri. So hiyo ndio inani delay. Lazima
Siku njema.
Sawa, thank you.
Yes. Kwani mmepotea hata nyinyi?
Tuko James.
Mimi nilipata repetition.
Alafu nasema hiyo nini haiko shared kwa screen. Unaweza share? Uko na hiyo nini? Hiyo poem.
Siko kwa nini? Kwa WhatsApp.
Sawa, wacha niende kwa WhatsApp.
Umeona? Umeona?
James, can you share it
Yes.
again? Ni share iko hapa karibu kwa WhatsApp.
Ni share kwa WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Sawa, nakushare immediately. Nashare kwa nani? Unajua hii sauti zenu bwana
Kwangu Monica.
Monica. Tunaona nimeshatuma kwa Mwaura.
Lakini Monica anaongeanga kikosi. Kiswahili yake ni ya
naendelea kushika polepole. Lakini mnaongea almost the same bwana. Umepata?
Yeah, nimefika. Nimefanya. Umetuma questions peke yake. Hata si full.
Question peke yake? Okay. Sawa. Kwani leo mna haraka ama? Kwa sawa? Monica? Kwa sawa? Wendo?